Boys, I'm telling you, if you did something wrong, then it will be better for you to save yourself from me. Mehak warned them, and they nodded. We know, Mom. You just wait. Your son is stuck badly today. Jimin said and all laughed. Mehak also smiled and thought about Jungkook. Jimin and Jeho winked at each other and laughed. What? Lizard? He asked, and I was not in the condition to answer him. I was so scared. I didn't want to open my eyes. My body was trembling. I was feeling disgust because that ugly and creepy lizard fell on me, on my shoulder. Not that ugly lizard, I said, still with my closed eyes. I don't know where I was seated, what I was holding, but I was feeling safe. I didn't want to move, to go. I was going to the washroom to change, and when I opened the door, a lizard fell on me, making me yell. My body trembled, and I was still trembling with fear. Taehyung, look at me. He called me, but I didn't open my eyes. I just kept my eyes closed and shook my head as no. My eyes were getting wet, and tears slipped from my cheeks. But I didn't dare to open my eyes. I felt someone cupping my face and turned it to somewhere. Look at me. A sweet whisper made me open my eyes. As my eyes opened, they met with two brown eyes, capturing me all the time. I felt his hand were carrying my face. I leaned on to his touch. There is no lizard. Don't be scared, he said, and I came to my senses. There's a lizard that followed me. It's so disgusted, I said, holding him more tightly. Yeah, I know, but there is no lizard in my room, he said, while I sighed my hair from my face. But there was, on the door of the washroom. It fell on my shoulder. I said, and a tear again rolled down on my cheeks. Hey, it's okay. It's gone now, he said while wiping my tears. You're so scared of lizards, he asked, and I nodded. I turned my face fully to him. My heart was still beating with fear. I held his shirt more tightly. That is so bad. I hate them, I said while making face. I can see that, but there is no lizard now, he said, and I turned to see the door of the washroom. There is on the ground. It's there, Jungkook, and do something. As I saw the lizard lying on the floor, I again started shouting. I held him more tightly. When I was shouting continuously, that stupid, ugly lizard was still there. Shut up. My voice was stuck in my thought, as his cold hand covering my mouth, and with each he pulled me closer. My eyes were snapped open. Shut up, he whispered so sweetly, looking at me. My all senses were come back, and I realized where I was. My face were laying on him. His face were holding me, and I was seated in his lap while my eyes were around his neck, holding him tightly. My eyes winded, and shyness took me over. His hands were still on my mouth, covering it, while his deep eyes were fixed on, making my heart flutter. We were so close that I scared, in all of you shouting, but I lied. He asked, and I slowly removed his hand from my face. I was still looking at him without blinking, his thumb carrying my jaw, sending chills to my spine. I really wanted to run away from there, but I think my body was not responding to me. It lost its sense of moving, and he touched me. My name. You took my name, he whispered, and now I was feeling shy. My eyes were lowered down with shyness. I was in his arm, seated in his lap. How can I do this? I asked myself, and slowly laying his shirt I was holding in my fist and tugged my hair behind my ear. I didn't dare to look up at his shining eyes. That I got scared. I managed to say slowly, try to get up, but he held my waist to stop me. He pulled me to him and leaned back on the sofas. I never knew that this night would be this beautiful, he whispered while rolling my hair lock with the fingers. That I need to change. I managed at least to utter this word because his closeness were affected me so much. His touch, his breath, his whisper, his closeness, everything was making me crazy and my heart. It was running a marathon. My breath was so heavy. Go. He freed me from his hold, and I immediately come down to his lap. I stood there next to the sofa. I was still looking at the ground where the lizards were placed. We were not moving. Lizard? He asked and I nodded. Let me see how big this lizard is, he said and got up. I saw him walking toward the washroom door. He leaned down and placed that lizard in his finger. Don't hold it, I said and he laughed. It's not real, he said and again laughed. Huh? I asked looking at his hand. It's made of plastic. It's not real. He laughed and I saw him throwing that lizard in the bin. Jimin and Job must do it. You just relax. This room is clean from all that insects and these lizards, he said and I nodded with a smile. Go change now, he said and I picked my dress and ran into the washroom. And I closed the door. I leaned on the door and closed my eyes and flirting hard. My lips were dry and my breath was uneven. How can I do this? How can I jump directly in his lap? I was scrolling myself. Embarrassment was so much that now I was thinking how to face him. I took deep breaths to calm myself, but my heart was not listening to me. Calm down, Taehyung. I nodded on my thought and decided to change my dress. I hung my sleeping suit and started taking that pins. It was pinned so tightly that it was getting difficult for me to open. A pin was fixed on my back from the shoulder, sticking its place. Now what? I tried, said, and my hands fell. I nodded on the door and went out of the washroom. As I stepped out, my eyes landed on who was smiling with closed eyes. As I took a step, his eyes were open and looked at me. What happened? He asked and I looked down. My dress. It pinned and I tried, but this pin was not coming out. I said and saw him getting up. Oh, now? He asked and I looked up at him. I go to Jimin to ask him to take that pins out. I saw and took a step to the door. Are you mad? He said and before I know, my wrist was in his hand to stop me. Let me help you, he said and my eyes winded. What? Come, he said and pulled me with him to the mirror. But I can go to Jimin. You're right. And he will ask you, why didn't you ask your husband for help? He said, and I laid down and started biting my lips. As he started taking out the pins, I was shivering with the touch. My heart was running so fast. I was scared that it will come out pricking my ribcage. Done. His voice made me look down. Go and change now. I ran inside the washroom with beating heart. I smiled shyly and started changing into my sleeping dress. I smiled thinking about his innocence. He was so sweet. I can say that his innocence by his every act. I was still smiling, remembering his scary face. When he saw the lizard, he didn't think anything before jumping in my lap. And then his hold, his closeness, his warmth, close to me, was flooding my heart, and when I touched his face, it feels so good. His skin was so soft that I couldn't help myself for carrying it. And now, when he asked to go out, I really planned and palmed myself. I was waiting for Tae to come out so I can go to change. As the door opened, I opened my eyes. He came out hesitantly. I saw him wearing his white dress. I got out and walked to the wardrobe to take my sleeping suit and passed through the washroom without saying anything but the fragrance to making my heart restless. I smiled and changed into my t-shirt and black trouser. As I stepped out of the bathroom, I saw they were still standing near the bed. What happened? I asked, and went closer to him. They shook his head and looked down. He bit his lips, and I came to know that he was shying to thinking about where to sleep. I smiled and lay on the right side of the bed. Come, you can sleep on the other side, I said to relax him. But from inside, I know how I was feeling, sleeping on the same bed, in the bed which was so small, I can say that. And he pushed us to each other. My heart was beating as hell. They lay down slowly, and I turned off the lights and turned on the night bulb. I was laying on my back straight and looking at the roof of the room. I turned a little to see Tae, who was also sleeping on the corner of the bed, like I was, and his eyes were also fixed on the roof. Good night, I said, and he turned to me. Good night. They replied and smiled. I closed my eyes to sleep, but I was not able to. The first reason was his closeness to me, and the other was I was really not comfortable on the edge of the bed. I was really about to fall down from the bed. We both were created distance between us. I opened my eyes to see was now turned to the other side, and his backs were facing me. I sighed and turned to the other side, and that was when I fell on the ground. I almost yelled. What happened? They turned immediately on my voice, and I saw him seated up. They looked at me, and I was lying on the ground, and in a second I heard him laughter. I looked at Tae amazed, the beautiful smile ringing in my room, and I lost myself in his laugh. I was just keep lying there looking at his smiling face. They looked at me and stopped. I'm sorry, they said, and I saw him coming to me. As he came to me, I saw Tae leaning to me to make me get up. His single hand touched my arm to pick me up. I got up and stood in front of him. I could see Tae hiding his smile, which made me smile. I obviously looked at him. His beautiful smile was trying to stretch into a smile. You can smile, I said and sat on the bed. I'm sorry. They apologized. Don't be, even though I am laughing at my condition, I said, and laughed and heard him laugh with me. It's quite late. We should sleep now, I said, and he nodded. They walked back to the side of the bed, and we both pulled a blanket and looked at each other. Sweet dreams, I said and smiled. We both lay down together on the bed. This time, we were not on the edge. We were not so close, but also not far. We both looked at each other before closing our eyes. I smiled with closed eyes. I never knew that my wedding night would be this, but I really enjoyed it. His company in this beautiful night really made me it special. I turned to the left side and looked at his sleeping face. His eyes were closed, and his long lashes were lying on his face. The mole under his eyes made me to touch it. I fixed my hand to stop myself. I smiled, looked at Tae, and slowly my hand was made its way to his face and removed the hair stand from the temple. With his face in my eyes, I closed them and tried into the sleep.